There has been so much going on. I'm trying to chase the weather and actually get the van set up for winter because it's the fourth winter in the van, but it's the first one with the real opportunity to just be in it without running around in survival every day, with everything just going wrong. So I'm trying to get it all set up so that I've got, the heating, the shower, the kitchen, because I'm not meant to have this little butane stove inside, and I'm just trying to get my quality of life while I'm out here, because winter is going to be my downtime with the advocacy and also finding somewhere to live. It's 3 years I've been in this van with nowhere to go and nothing to do, because I'm barely just keeping afloat every day, and it's not like I can just work or commit to anything. So now that I have support in the community, it's making it easier. And when things do go wrong, I don't have to face it alone, which was proven to me when I was sick, and they saw it right. People saw it right through with me. I've got a whole bunch of people out in the community now who know where I'm camping, who know all about the channel and everything that's going on. And I've actually been talking to someone who is keen to help with the advocacy work, someone who is very connected in the system, someone who's been on both sides of it, who doesn't have the level of trauma awareness that the country needs, but is definitely up there with awareness in comparison to the average human, but also the willingness to learn and understand, and just the compassion is next level. So to have someone like that who's connected in the system, this is going to be a real opportunity now for me to self-love, to heal. I'm doing the NDIS application, and I'll be able to do all the things connecting with nature out in solitude to help myself, because whilst we need help from the system, a majority of the healing comes from within us, and the environment is the key. If you can get away from the whirly and the fast pace and everyone just telling you what to do and pulling you in different directions, and take a breath to figure out and get in tune with yourself, you take the small steps, like to discover, like, okay, this is what I can do for myself. This is what I need help with. But at least when you know what's wrong with you, you know where to go, rather than just out in the void with people who have no idea, right? So that's what I've found. Getting in tune with myself and getting connected in community is how I'm getting myself into safety, into the right direction within the system, because it's so big and you go in blindly and you go in a big mess and they just spin you around. You need someone to hold your hand, and you need someone who gets it. And that's not something you do straight away. You take the time to get your safety and get your voice, and get yourself a bit more grounded within your world before dealing with all the systems, hoops and loops and bullshit. Because I think that's the biggest thing that fucks with us, is we're just thrown straight back out into it, and it's not made for us, and we're not made for it. So when you can slow down and have the right guidance through it, whilst connecting with yourself and doing things at your own pace, by God, there's a difference. There's a difference in being in isolation and being in solitude. There's a difference between being invisible and being seen, being believed and being dismissed and gaslit. Like, all those things matter. And if you don't have those things as your foundation, you're never going to be able to heal, because that's your foundation, that's your strength, that's your direction, that's your healing. Like, you need a team. You can't just go to a GP. are therapists. You need a fucking team, and they need to collaborate, and they need to know what your safety means for you. Once you have that, you all hold hands together and take on the system together. And that, my friend, is the biggest difference. And that's the journey I'm about to go on. And that's how I'm also meeting people who can help with advocacy. So over these next few months of winter, I'm going to be doing a lot of work with locals face to face in the system, talking about the DSM and the ICD and what's really needed for CPTSD and trauma, so that people down here who aren't elites, who aren't wealthy, who aren't loaded, the ones who are riddled with the trauma, who need it more than fucking anything, actually have a chance at accessing what's required to heal. Because what mainstream's doing is just fucking us up. And there are so many things available out there. We just need to learn how to get access to them. And we need to show our government how and why we need it. And that's what I'm going to be working on throughout winter, as well as other stuff that I've got going on in the background. Please do not think that me having a shift into being positive and healing is me giving up on justice and what's right. There has been a lot that has gone on over these last few months, these last few years even, but there is a lot going on in the background. I am getting a video together of my legal journey to show that the ignorance in our system, the systemic abuse, and how fucking bad Victorian legal system is. But I've also got a certain investigation happening about the court stuff, and I have been giving these people a chance to do their job. So if they don't do their job, they can get added on to the whole thing. But I'm just waiting because timing's everything, and I don't want this channel to get taken over with that. But at the same time, it is really important to address it, and it will come in due time. Right now, I'm chasing the weather before it starts getting really cold, really windy, really wet, and it gets too hard to, run around with sheets of tin and stuff outside. So I'm going to be very excited to share this journey with you, because it's been a hell of a ride. People who are subscribed, who saw my last winter, you're going to see the difference this winter. And that's the very big difference on what it's like to have support and not have support. And why our country needs to be trauma aware so that we can get the real support that we need. It's not all about, blue and red lights and hospitals and fucking pills and cops and containment. That's making us worse. So that's where I'm going to be directing this channel, is what we really need. And I'm going to be doing that with real life human beings, hopefully in a nice, cozy, set-up van for winter. Let's see.